Hello, welcome to the Overshield.com. My name is Andrew Holmes, and today I will be interviewing a very special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Pizoobie. I'm a cosplayer and avid League of Legends player.
Alright. And for people that don't know, can you explain what cosplaying is?
Sure. So cosplaying is, I guess it's an art. It's the art of dressing up as a fictional character, usually somebody from a video game or an anime. And normally cosplayers take these costumes to conventions to hang out with fans and just have a good time.
Alright. And so my next question is, how long have you been cosplaying?
I would have to say probably around half a year.
Alright. And what would be your favorite cosplay you've done so far?
So I've only done 2 serious cosplays. I've been Ari from League of Legends and Lulu from League of Legends. And I can't really pick a favorite between the two because I like them both.
Alright. Here's a quick question from Facebook. Corey Smith asks, what's a cosplay that you want to do but can't just for whatever reason?
There's so many. Whenever I think about cosplay, I come up with tons and tons of ideas of characters that I want to be, except I don't have time to do all of them. One that I was thinking of recently is, unfortunately it's not League related, but it's Kerrigan from StarCraft 2, the human form. I think she looks really cool. She's got the whole bodysuit with like glowing stripes. That's definitely, I would say it's on my wish list, but I don't know if I'll get to it anytime soon.
Alright. And what advice would you give to someone that's starting to cosplay? Because from the outside looking in, it can be kind of complicated.
Yeah, I would say start early. So if you know that you want to cosplay for a convention, it's really useful to just start brainstorming ideas early on because, it might seem intimidating when you first start a costume. You might not know how to do a lot of things, but once you actually go out, you start shopping for materials or looking at reference art, you get a lot of ideas, and you really need to leave time for that so you don't end up stressed out at the end trying to figure out how to make certain parts of your costume.
Alright, and my next question is, do you prefer to make your own costume or store-buy costumes?
I definitely like making my own costumes. Most of the characters that I would like to cosplay don't really use clothing or props that you'd be able to find in a store. Obviously, it's easier if you can find things in a store and maybe alter them to look like your character, but I also like creating stuff from scratch.
Okay, and why is that?
You get a more custom look to your costume. It's much easier to make it true to the character that you're trying to cosplay. And then there's lots of the costume that's just fun to make.
Alright. So let's just move away a tiny bit from that, but still stay in the same realm of gaming, as this is a gaming website. When did you start playing video games?
That's a really tough question. I want to say 5th grade. I was staying after class and I saw one of my classmates playing. I think it's called Star Command. It's like, oh no, it might have even been before that. I used to play a lot of MS-DOS games with my dad when I was growing up. So I'd have to say, I don't know, 6 years old. It's been a while.
Alright. And what are some of your favorite games to play?
Lately I play a lot of League of Legends. I used to be a huge StarCraft fan. Still am, but I don't play it nearly as much as League of Legends. I played Borderlands 2 for a while. Guild Wars 2. Prior to that, prior to League, I actually played a lot of Heroes of New Earth and Dota. And then during school, I played a lot of WoW. A lot.
Yeah, a lot of people put a lot of time into WoW.
Yeah.
What got you hooked up onto League of Legends, coming over from Dota and Han?
That's a really good question. I always like telling people the story. Um, so I actually played Han pretty seriously after I stopped playing Dota. And at the time, my one of my friends had signed me up for the League of Legends beta. They're like, "Oh, I signed you up for an account. You should check it out." And I remember I looked at some screenshots and some videos of the gameplay, and I was like, I don't think I would like this game. It looks like a cartoon, and it just looks too simple compared to Han and Dota. And I just didn't play. And then it's probably about a year later, one of my friends was saying, hey, I play League of Legends. You should try it out. And I was like, okay, why the heck not? And I tried it, and the first game I played, I was like, you know what? This game is actually pretty great. I don't think I ever played Han again after that.
See, I think I told you before, I've been playing League for over a year, and since then I have gone back and tried to play Han and a little bit of Dota too.
Yeah.
And it's just not as fun.
Yeah. I tried playing Dota 2 a couple months ago and just could not get into it.
Okay. Other than PC games, like you mentioned, were there any classic games you enjoyed playing, maybe for the Nintendo 64 or any of those classic type things?
Oh, yes. I had an N64, and I actually brought it with me once I moved away from my family. I really like Super Smash Brothers. I'm a huge Zelda fan. Ocarina of Time is probably one of my favorite games ever.
Okay. My next question for you is kind of back on the cosplaying thing. What inspired you to start doing cosplay?
Um, I'm trying to remember. I think, so I've only done 2 serious cosplays, which are Ari and Lulu. But I actually started for BlizzCon 2011, where I cosplayed a Tauren shaman. And it was a fairly simple cosplay, so I don't really count it as one of my projects, but I think what prompted that was just I had seen photos from BlizzCon and all. I don't know if you guys have seen the cosplays that people do at BlizzCon, but they are insane, like ridiculously good. And I think I just saw some photos and I was like, you know what, that looks really fun. I'm gonna try it.
Okay. Will you be attending SGC this year?
I'm afraid not. I only have plans to go to PAX Prime later this year. This year will be fairly busy for me, but I might go to Anime Boston this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since you've been doing this thing and you've been going to these different cons, have you met anybody that you've particularly liked, or tell us some of the stories that you've had meeting people doing this?
Sure. I have met so many great people at conventions. I mean, I can't even count the number of friends I've made there. Meeting other cosplayers is just great. I mean, we're like one big family, all of the League of Legends cosplayers. We all try to help each other out and support each other in our works. So that part is great. I've met a lot of people who like to come up to me to get photos and give me feedback on my work, and that's really nice to hear. I really like to hear that people enjoy my work. I also met a lot of really great rioters at PAX. It was funny. Morello actually, he came up to me and he was like, "Oh, I like your costume." And I was like, "Thanks, Morello. I really like your book." And for a second, he was like, "Book? What book?" And I was like, "Morello Nomicon. Don't you get that a lot?" And he was like, "Oh, okay." I think he had a long day, so.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine. So, looking forward onto your next con, what is your next cosplay going to be, if you don't mind sharing, or you don't know yet?
I'm not entirely sure yet. I am thinking about doing Koinami. It's not a very commonly cosplayed skin or character. It'll be a lot of work, so at this point I don't want to say 100% because I'm not sure if I'll have the time to do it, but I'm going to try.
Okay. Has anyone ever requested a cosplay from you?
Yes. I'm actually running a giveaway on my page right now where I'm asking people to just, excuse me, comment with what cosplays they'd like to see. And it's really cool to see. I mean, everybody has a bunch of different ideas. I see a lot of requests for Lux. A lot of people want to see, let me think, other Lulu skins. Yeah, I've heard pretty much every League of Legends character in the comments, so.
Alright, just a few more questions.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever considered cosplaying as a male character?
Yes. I won't speak in too much detail on my plans for that yet, but I do have plans to do some female versions of male characters. It'll be really fun.
I imagine Tarek would be pretty easy.
Yeah, that would be fun. Unfortunately, that is not on my list, I can tell you that.
Damn, well, I'll be looking forward to that female version of Dr. Mundo.
Yes. It'll be a great Dr. Mundo.
Alright, and just my last question. This is something that we always ask everyone we've interviewed. It's kind of personal, so you don't have to answer it if you don't feel you should.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite color?
My favorite color? I'm gonna have to say purple.
Yep, that tasted purple.
Exactly.
Alright, so before we end this interview, would you like to just tell everyone where they can follow you or all those different things? Maybe give yourself a little shout-out, plug type thing?
Sure. If anybody is interested in seeing my cosplay, you can find me at facebook.com/Pizoobie. That's Pizoobie. I have pictures of my cosplay. I feature other cosplayers, and I do giveaways every once in a while, so it's pretty good fun. You should check me out.
Alright, I'm sure they will. I would just like to say thank you for coming on to the show, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Alright, later guys.
Bye.